Welcome back, everybody. Continuing to follow breaking news out of Goleta Beach, where there has been a large section of the ocean covered in oil. There's an oil sheen out there. County Fire responding. We have several crews on the scene as well. One of them is our Sheen reporter.
That's right. John Palmentary is standing by live. And John, obviously not what we want to see right now, but what can you tell us from your vantage point?
Well, certainly trying to get a size up about just how large this is, what the quantity is, how deep it is, what the source is, and what the impacts are, and how long it may have been out there. Bob Seiler was in a kayak, as we just talked to a short time ago. Now, Bob, I want you to show us real close. We're going to zoom in here about what this substance is that you have on this piece of wood here.
This is the oil that was on the top of the sheen of oil on top of the ocean.
Yeah.
When we're out there fishing.
In ocean kayaks.
Ocean kayaks.
Let's walk over here. So what you did is you scraped it right off the side of your ocean kayak.
Just like that.
Just like that. So this substance here, all that scraped with that piece of wood, looks like this. Now we're going to hopefully get a test on that and see what the source of it is. Is that you're doing that to be able to give that to the authorities?
That's what I was hoping to do. See where it came from. Exactly.
Could you basically measure that one more time about how far off you were and how wide and long it could have been?
Sure. I would say it's about 1,000 yards beyond the wharf. That's the Goleta wharf.
Yeah.
And we kind of followed the kelp line all the way out, which is, like I said, is about half a mile, three-quarters of a mile out. And it was spread both sides of that kelp line, and it was pretty thick.
Did you see it before you got to it?
No, we did not.
All of a sudden you were in it.
We saw some blobs of oil out here, and I said, wow, I wonder if that's coming from Refugio. And then we got out there further and further, and the sheen started getting bigger and bigger, thicker as we went out.
Your legs are somewhat of a yardstick, so let's stand here. And there's now what happened here? You just put your feet in the water?
I put my legs out, and lo and behold, what was I doing that for? Both legs.
So from just below your knee down to your ankle. So, but not below, not on your feet. So are we saying that it might be like a foot?
I had it. My feet were below the water line, so you can see where it was. My legs were on top of the water, and that's where I got the oil.
Yeah, they have to sample your calves as well. Now,
I know they're sexy.
What did it smell like to you? Did it smell like gasoline, like petroleum oil, like any the typical substances, like a natural seep?
It smelled like a natural seep. I guess it doesn't smell like oil.
But you've never seen a natural seep like this.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, you were telling me that earlier. This looks different.
This looks like gasoline, maybe thicker. Smell like more like oil, not like gasoline.
Okay. Very good. Well, there you have it. There's an eyewitness who was out there and has collected a sample for the authorities here to be able to test to see if it's related to what we had on May 19th off of Refugio, or if it's from another source or a natural seep or something else. Unfortunately, we're right next to UC Santa Barbara, and they have experts that have been on top of this since the Refugio spill nearby at the campus, and they'll probably be taking part in all the testing going on. A number of officials who are associated with this oil problem here along our coastline since May are coming to the scene, and they'll be able to also take a look at it as well. Reporting live from Goleta Beach this morning. We'll have an update, of course, this evening. I'm John Palmentary, News Channel 3.
John, thank you. Interesting perspective for someone who was there, had his foot in the water, and you can actually see the oil on there and along his kayak, of course. Of course, the big question is, was this remnant of the Refugio oil spill? A lot of people still cleaning that one up as we head towards the last percentages of that oil still left in our shores.
Yeah, and a member of the response team from the Refugio spill is actually headed out to Goleta Beach, and we have her on the phone with us, Sandra K. Neen. Thanks for joining us. What can you tell us about the responsibilities that you may have going forward here?
Well, right now the Coast Guard received a report from Santa Barbara County that there was sheen visible on the water. So right now we have a marine safety detachment team from Santa Barbara going out to look into it and to see if it's either related to the oil spill or if it's possibly related to natural seepage. This morning we also had another call that they responded to, and that was related to natural seepage, and that was in the same area.
So
it seems like a huge, I don't know if you've heard or been able to see anything, but I mean, we're talking about half a mile of natural seep if that were to be the case.
Right, well, that's why we have this marine safety detachment team going out there to confirm.
Yeah, we're talking about 50 to 60 wide oil slick here. So this is obviously not what we want to see, since we just saw something terrible hit our beaches, back in May with the refugio oil spill. Where are you guys in the process of that? You were almost done cleaning up?
Right now, I believe every beach has been open since then, and we're still investigating anything that they see, just like this incident. We'll send out people, and they'll go and investigate to make sure to take samples to see if it's related or if it's not, or if it's a new oil spill or a new response.
Has there been any concern from the Coast Guard perspective about all this oil that is just kind of sitting, waiting because of the spill? And we hear that there's oil in the pipes from the rigs that are out in the ocean that are just kind of sitting there. I mean, is it possible that the buildup has maybe caused something else? Has that been a concern for you?
I couldn't confirm that, sir. I'm not really sure as far as how the buildup works with that process. I don't want to speculate anything like that.
Sure, yeah.
All right, Sandra.
Make sure that we keep our beaches clean and safe for people to go to.
Thank you so much. I know this is just the beginning. We're just getting information about this possible oil spill, but all we know is that there's a large slick of oil, about 50 to 60 wide oil slick in our waters there in Goleta Beach. Troubling indeed, whether it is remnants of refugio or something new. That is going to be yet to come.
Yeah, it's 1,000 feet out there if you were to head out by the pier. We talked with Dave Zamboni from the Santa Barbara County Fire Department. And he was saying that you could definitely see the Sheen out there in the middle of the ocean. So let's turn things over to Meredith Garfalo. It's a beautiful day. I mean, a lot of people are going to be heading to beaches. And Meredith, what can they expect if they, I mean, the weather-wise, pretty good, but...
I actually want to go first to those current conditions, and you could kind of actually see the wind was blowing a little bit out of the south-southwest. It's about 10 miles per hour, and that's actually the kind of wind I'm going to forecast for the rest of today. So that's not a good thing as far as if it is out there to push it ashore. But as we take a look, those winds are forecasted this afternoon to be out of the west-southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. So here's the oil spill. Just so you know, this is north, this is south, this is west, and this is east. So if we do get those south-southwesterly winds, it'll be pushing it up toward our beaches, so hopefully things get cleaned up pretty quickly. I do want to show you the actual ocean currents too. Right here is Goleta, and you can see those ocean currents are from the south-southwest as well. So this is something to be tracking very closely all day. I know I'll be keeping an eye on it, as well as Chief Meteorologist Alan Rose. But as far as your forecast goes, it's a beautiful day. Besides being at the beach for that, we are going to be seeing temperatures in the 70s and the 80s. And coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have more news on this breaking news, and I'll have a look at the weather coming up. Thanks.